speaker today is Dr. Robert Opoku. And Dr. Opoku is one of our specialists in Alberta, I would say. All his undergrad and graduate studies based on marketing. He's a published author. He is a very well known and decorated professor, and he is teaching now at Reddy College. He's very involved in the community, and I know him because we went to a couple of conferences together. We talk research. We're talking about research together, and we have been consulting about as well creating a business journal in Alberta in the context of all the 26 schools of business in the province. So he is a man by experience, by training, who knows very much what he is talking about. Not only is he involved in a marketing effort in his institution, but he is involved in consultation as well on this issue. So he knows the principles, he knows the practice on marketing practice on that, and he's willing to team up with us to offer this seminar to you free of charge. So I want, without any further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Opoku to present this first seminar of a series of 3 this week. Tomorrow afternoon at this time at 5, let me just for that, we will have another one with the CEO of our well-known marketing firm here in Nocom, but with actions all over the province. And on Friday, 1 to 2 in the afternoon at 1 o'clock, we're going to have another one with the CEO of another marketing firm in Red Deer as well. So welcome, and Dr. Opoku, we're ready to listen to you.
Thank you very much, Professor Michel. Can you all hear me, please? If you can hear me, please raise up your hand. Can you hear me? Good, brilliant. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so thrilled. In fact, I'm so happy to be here this afternoon because I eat and breathe marketing. And we all have to remember that marketing is one of the functional areas of any organization. So there are other areas that needs to be straightened up before you can get your marketing going. So in this conversation that we'll be having this afternoon, and of course we have people joining us from Ghana and other places. So wherever you are, good night. But before we embark on this conversation, I want to take this opportunity to thank the team that has put together this seminar series. And I see it as a very important platform for us to talk about what is happening around us. Because in academia, we have to be part of the conversation. And that's exactly what we are trying to do tonight. But I'm not going to be, of course, I'm academic, but I'm not going to be bogging you down with this academic stuff. I would like as much as possible to break this conversation to, for ordinary Joes and Marys to consume going forward. And please feel free to interject anytime because it's a conversation that we're going to be having this afternoon. I have some slides prepared, but these will help guide the conversation going on. And I have put together 10 key points, more or less, things that small businesses and marketers around this time should reflect on and see how best they can turn their organizations around. But I also would like to indicate clearly that there is no silver bullet to some of the issues that are happening because it's a very fluid kind of situation and it's unprecedented. So I know academics, practitioners, we are all trying to figure out how to get things going. So things could change tomorrow and in the future, but we are trying to gather these pieces as we move on. And we also have to remember that this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of recommendations or suggestions. And in marketing, and as you all know, every organization is different and unique. But we will attempt to put together some of these we will try to put together some of this playbook that will serve as a guide going forward. So I've put in place 10-point kind of agenda that will help guide this conversation going forward. So we're going to be talking about how do we reevaluate the corporate focus in times like this? How do we support our employees, customers, and suppliers? How do we reinvent ourselves and get ourselves back into the game? And is there any way we could do about we could work around our distribution channel? We also want to look at, these days, most marketing activities are automated. How do we review those automations? And is there any way we have to revise our marketing budget? And can we invest in something else than what we are doing? And is there any possibility for us to have a crisis response team in place to help us direct the course of the organization? And if we have customer loyalty in place, because the idea of marketing is to build and maintain relationships, and ultimately build that loyalty. Is there any way we have to define that focus? And also, how do we help as small business players in our own communities to future-proof some of the business education curriculum that we have around going forward? So the first thing I want to share with you tonight or this afternoon is to reflect on this adage that one should never let a crisis go waste. And remember, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we capitalize on opportunities. So whatever comes our way, we have to see it from the opportunistic point of view. Although we are in a crisis, we can turn things around. And that's why we are different from other people. As business owners, this is a skill set that we have that many people don't have. So we have to see this as an opportunity, sit back, reflect, and see how best we can take advantage of whatever is happening going forward. So in these circumstances, we need to revisit our vision. We all know that some of these organizations have spent a couple of times reflecting on what is the ultimate, what is that I want to see myself somewhere down the road. What is it that I want to achieve when everything is good? That is the vision. And what is my roadmap to achieve the vision is the mission. And there are some objectives set in place in order to help us build this vision. This is the time for us to sit back and reflect. We all have our marketing objectives, our HR objectives, production objectives. We need to sit back and say, is it working during this pandemic? Do we have to revise the numbers? Do we have to sit back and look at something different? What do we stand for in the market? This is an opportunity, as things are slowing down, for us to reflect and figure out what exactly is the way forward. And that is very critical for every small player in the market to do this kind of evaluation. We all have, at this point in time, it's not just about profits. It's about satisfaction of your customers and, in fact, the well-being of the people that you interact with, be your employees and also your suppliers, and even your competitors, because they put you on your toes. So it's the time for you to look at what is my focus? What is the purpose of this organization? Can I look at things differently? It's not just about the bottom line. It's about the triple bottom line. Let's look at it. So whilst we are doing good, we are building our brand in our community. Whatever you can do in order to push the needle is very important. I know we are all cash strapped. It's not easy, but sometimes volunteering to a cause, showing up, saying hello to someone, walking around the streets, and even saying hi to somebody can make a difference. And that will create an opportunity for you to have a dialogue with a prospect or a potential customer. So that is key. It's not just about doling out marketing dollars or a chunk amount of money to people. Go about shaking hands. Of course, this is COVID time, so perhaps you can do the fist bump. All those things are important. And you don't have to face this crisis alone. There should be some partnerships. We are all in this together. So if you're selling a product and that product complements another product, this is an opportunity for you to bundle the product together. If you have offices that you are facing the challenge to pay the rent, this is the time for you to talk to maybe an industry player and see, hey, how best we can share an office. If truly you need a storefront, or if truly you need an office, this is the time for us to rent. We are in the sharing economy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just Uber, it's not just Airbnb, it's not just Turo, where people can share their private cars. At this point in time, we can also share resources. So partnership is key. It's all about a win-win approach among the stakeholders within this time period. Let's make sure that we capitalize on whatever situation that we have and share resources. Efficiency is key this time around. For our employees, wellness and health is so critical. We need to be checking in on these folks. And it's not just about asking them, you also have to model your healthy behavior. People should see you taking breaks and holidays, walking around, spending your time wisely. You don't tell them something and do something else. You need to be a model so that people will look up to you. These are unprecedented times. Resilience is about helping us to cope with whatever is happening. So keep the team informed on what is going around. Don't just leave people in the lurch. Make sure that you provide them with the right information for them to build upon it. Proactively offer flexibility. These times around, people have problems. Maybe dropping their kids off school, or their kids are home because they have exhibited symptoms of COVID. So when all these things come, sometimes even paternity, people might lose their pets. Giving them some time to reflect and bereaved these folks are critical in these times. We have to be very generous and realistic as possible to our employees, to our suppliers, and to the people that we interact. Empathy is also very important during these times around. Our customers, listen with empathy, but remember that we don't have to throw our core values to the dogs. Whatever it is, empathy is so critical. Put yourselves in the shoes of these customers, the way they are struggling. Some of them can't pay the products that they pick up from you. Understand them, work things out with them. This is the time for us to work around those things. But please, we shouldn't throw our core values to the dogs. If you are a key player in the market, you respect your brand, you know that you have your brand at stake. Make sure that you don't cut corners. Communicate essential information, your closing hours, business times, when people can take their deliveries. All these things need to be communicated clearly on your website or on any platform where customers can get to interact with you. Any touch point is so critical. And we need to tell our stories in a meaningful way. We'll come back to that. We also have to reintroduce ourselves and tell our stories. What are you doing? How are you responding to the COVID-19? What are some of the protocols that have been put in place? These are all critical things that we need to share with people. Of course, they should impact your promotion materials. If you have a website, those protocols need to be displayed. Also, you have to share stories that enforce or reinforce your corporate mission and vision. If you embark on any enterprise that connects with your vision and mission, share with people. Use the platform, any platform that you have, Instagram, Facebook. It could be WhatsApp, any platform that you have, make sure that you share your stories that connect with your values. And your employees, they also have lots of stories to share. It's not just about you. Motivate your employees to share those testimonials, how they are helping people out in this pandemic. Those things are very critical, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, we need to be very genuine. If you don't regularly connect with a group of customers or your customers, don't do it now, because you're going to be seen as fake. This is not a time for you to, put up a face that you love your customers or you are there for them. You can start doing that, building yourself into it. But don't flood the whole place because we are in pandemic. People will get to know that you are fake. We've got your back. This is not a time to be throwing out all those phrases because they know how you do your business already. If you want to capitalize on the COVID-19 to do something different, you need to get into that slowly. You don't have to rush. That is so critical in this space. Be creative, but you have to be authentic. Perhaps you also want to work on your distribution channel. These days, you want to make sure that you move some of the people online. So if you have a storefront where people can access your product and services, this is the time for you to move some of your loyal customers online because it's cost efficient and also safety-wise, you're good. So e-commerce is big. Of course, I don't expect you to start full-blown e-commerce, but take your website to the second level where people can at least order something through. Shopify and all those platforms are there for you to leverage. You can create an account on eBay, Etsy, Amazon, where you can sell your products through some of these channels. These are critical. These are unprecedented times. Once you have those channels built, make sure you communicate why it's so important to shop from those platforms. Guide people through tutorials. People don't know how to do it because it's their first time getting through this. How do people pay through the system? People don't know, so guide them. And those who attempt to do it, reward them. Because reinforcement is key. In psychology, if people know that they're going to get rewards, they will get to do it more time, or most of the time. So make sure that you create that platform to incentivize these folks to wean them off your storefront and get them into your Opoku, which is the buying online or picking something up in the store. Review your automated marketing activities. These times, people are very sensitive. You might have had some information on your website that is not sensitive. It was good at that time, but it's not going to work during the pandemic. So this is the point. This is an opportunity for you to revisit all your promotional materials and take those insensitive issues out. Don't focus too much on profits. It's about building a community and creating future for people. This is the opportunity. This is the time to have that kind of messaging on your website or on any promotion material. Don't be that you are the only bad guy on the block. Review your marketing material this time around. So important. Content marketing is key. Content marketing, some of you will be new to this content, but when you say content marketing, it is just about forgetting about getting sales, but trying to educate your customers so that they will get to understand what is going on. But because you are the expert who educated them, if they need any information or if they want to buy any product or service, they will come to you because they know that you are the expert. That is what is termed as content marketing. So this is the time for you. Now you have some free time because everybody is working from home. Things are not that busy for us now. Sit back, develop some leadership articles. And in fact, one of them came through yesterday by one of our speakers. Peter worked on marketing farmer. Great piece. These are articles that we have to be thinking of developing. Create your own blogs. These days, you can have your own YouTube channel. Humanize your brand. Personify it. People don't know who is this person behind this product or this organization. This is the opportunity for you to put a face to your brand. Have those videos, talk about your experiences. If you have contracted the COVID, share with people what are some of the challenges that you are going through. These are all critical because this is an opportunity for you to humanize and personify your brand. And if you have any data to share with your customers, this is the time for you to put those things out. But remember, content is consumed differently by different people. So you need to have different touch points, Facebook, social, any of these platforms, so that people can consume some of these contents differently. It's not just about bye-bye. Turn the message on bye-bye on its head. This is not the time for it. Support people and instill confidence. You don't have to be embarking on conquest sales messaging, trying to woo customers from your competitors into your fold. This is not the time. It's unethical. Everybody is struggling. Make your case out, instill confidence in people, and if they still want to buy from you, they will come anyway. But the point is that create that content marketing, so that they know that you are a leader in that area. And if they are looking for experts in that area, they will come to you. This is something that John Deere has been doing for years, almost 80 years. They've been working with farmers for millions of years in that angle. Consider not to cut or decrease your marketing budget. I know it's tough. Some of us are struggling, but this is the time for you to relook your marketing budget, because the little that you put in will produce results. Because others have stopped. Others have given up. So whatever little thing that you put in will be very fruitful going forward. So your small ad dollars can go a long way, because some of these organizations are even giving some of these things for free. Look at Zoom, look at Loom. They are offering all these packages for people and organizations. So whatever little that you put in will go places, because others are not doing it anyway, and you're going to have impact going forward. And remember, it's not just now. You are thinking through this for the future. This is an opportunity for you to capitalize and gain market share, because you are out there sharing people, providing your expertise, so that when things normalize, people will get to know that you were there with them along that journey going forward. As small business owners, as marketers, this is also an opportunity for us to invest in online events, because it's a fresh way to get your team in front of your prospects. The people that you have the opportunity to talk to are potential customers. They are potential employees. They are people who are likely to buy your products somewhere down the road. Stand in front of them, deliver your message, and you never know. Your sales leads will happen. So identify opportunities to speak and to create your own conferences where possible. Can you bring some industry leaders for online conversation about the pandemic, about lessons learned within this pandemic? So we're talking about post-secondary education. Behrman can show leadership in this area, bringing all heads of institutions. It could be Zoom meeting and talking about how they are getting themselves through this. This is a very nice platform. Can we get ourselves into business classrooms to talk about our experiences? Remember, these are potential customers. You never know, or they are potential employees. You have the opportunity to tap into these minds, shape them, and they will become your prospects, or they will become your customers somewhere down the road. So take advantage of this, of the intimacy of the small screen, to talk to your key audience. You never know. Put together a crisis response team. You need to have a backup, people that you have to talk to if these things are unsurmountable. I know it's tough for small business owners, but have a team that you can rely on during these difficult times. Put a team together, formal or informal. Good. So that you can focus on the important revenue-generated activities. These guys will advise you going forward, and then you can develop some short-term plans so that you can maintain your cash flow and run the business according to the revenue targets. Get that kind of support. Tap into that support. Very critical. Have that formal or informal response team going forward. Redefine your customer loyalty. Things that wow customers have changed. Customers now have different priorities. So the benefit programs that you put in place that were working last year might not be working presently, right now. So go back to the drawing table, revisit your customer loyalty programs. If you are offering scholarships to students, that might not be a priority. If you are offering certain kind of benefits to your customers, that might not be a priority. So that's why you need to start a conversation around, talk to some of your loyal customers and say, hey, things have changed. What is it that can help you stay with me for a considerable period of time? Start that conversation. They will tell you their priorities and build those loyalty programs around those new priorities. Don't assume that they are still holding on to the things that brought them to you. Things might have changed. They've moved on. Get that message and pivot. Change things around. This is also an opportunity for us as business people to support our educational community. The curriculum is very dynamic. Things are changing. This is an opportunity for you to provide some input into whatever curriculum business schools are offering. Step up to the plate. Talk to business school managers. Talk to business school professors. Say, hey, this is what is happening. These things aren't working. These are textbook knowledge. Trying to trying to affect the classrooms. This is an opportunity for you to get into the classrooms and share these thoughts and try as much as possible to maintain this momentum post-COVID. For example, we are all in this together. So help to future-proof the business education curriculum because you have a lot. Because of what you are going through right now, you have a lot to share with business schools that are around in your neighborhood. Take advantage of it now that we have some time to spare. And of course, you can do things from your own home. Get to affect whatever is happening in our business schools and in fact, even in our universities and colleges. This is an opportunity for you to make a mark. And whilst you affect these communities, you build your brand. Start ideating. We all know that sometimes things can become so desperate. We don't know what's going to be, how things going to be tomorrow. But we don't have to stop innovating. We don't have to stop thinking. We don't have to stop dreaming. You never know. The best idea that will change the course of things will be generated through this mess. So it's possible that an entirely new business model or a new business can emerge from this crisis. This is the point, this is the time for you to think along those lines with your team. You can pivot, you can develop new business models, you can change your business dynamics if you start thinking now, because the world is not going to wait for you, even after the COVID. Who knows? No one is going to wait for you. You have to have an idea and how you're going to develop it in hand. So this is the time for you to start thinking about those ideas. How to get it all done? We have to be reviewing our marketing plan and looking at some of the areas where we can deliver the highest returns. Some of the products aren't working. Review your products. Those that are not working, those that are not doing well, harvest them, put them on the shelf, and concentrate your efforts on the ones that are working for you. Identify some of the key activities and do them consistently. If something is working for you, make sure you work to improve it and get the right results. If your internal team is so overwhelmed due to the pandemic, partner with external agencies like advertising agencies. We have some of them in town, Edge, Marketing and Design, and all these organizations are around. Tap into their expertise if your internal team is so overwhelmed, so that we can create new ideas and some of these strategies that can help you take your business to the next level. We all know COVID-19 has changed the landscape but you don't want it to swallow your business activities. Keep the momentum going. That is very critical. I just want to provoke thoughts here. Will old habits return or die? So this is more or less to our academic folks. We all know that human beings rely heavily on our senses. And now, because of the COVID-19, we are isolating ourselves and depriving ourselves of the senses usage. We have this mask and we have all these things around us. And in marketing, sense is one of the key elements that we rely on. If you look at Starbucks, they have the scent in that coffee room so that when you go in there, you smell the scents and you feel like buying a coffee. Look at our restaurants. And now we are depriving ourselves of these senses. So what happens once our societies open up? How long will this fear of using our senses linger? And as marketers, this is a concern because it's one of the key elements that we tap into as marketers. Sensual marketing is big. Will people change? Will it affect senses of people? This is something that I just want to throw out there. And how do we work around it? As marketers, as business owners, going on, food for thought. So in conclusion, it's all about agile marketing practices. There is no one size fits all. Try something, learn from it, and then embark on some improvements gradually. That is so important. And we need to get ourselves ahead of the competition. These days, it's about the blue ocean strategy. It's not just about fighting with the competition and bloodying the market, but you have to be ahead of the curve. And that's why you need to start ideating from now, the blue ocean strategy. Learn more about your target audience. This is an opportunity for you to learn more because they are changing because of the COVID. So get to know things that are working. Those days will not work now. Priorities have shifted, we've moved on, and start building relationships. Get into the business schools, create opportunity for you to network. During these times, use the online platforms to your advantage so that you can set yourself for success after the COVID. We all have to move beyond this crisis management. I know most of these companies are managing the crisis. We need to embrace the lessons that we are learning, and that's why we are entrepreneurs. That's why we are in that game. We have to reinvent ourselves, be innovative, and come out with something new. I know some businesses are struggling. They have to find ways to cope. But these little things that I've shared with you, I know if you respect and then try to practice them religiously, that's going to make some difference going forward. So thank you for spending some time with me tonight or this late afternoon. I'm done with my presentations. I will be happy to have some questions in that regard. So, thank you very much for giving me that platform.
Thank you very much. I'm inviting our guests to either write the questions in the chat or raise their hands so that I can see them. Any questions or maybe comments? All right, let me bring one to you. Is that I see Danny is managing the chat. I don't know. There is a comment there saying it's time to stop selling and start educating. What can you say about that?
Yep, and that's why we talk about content marketing. Content marketing is the education piece. Get customers educated so that they can make their own decisions. And the point is that if they get to figure out that you help them make those informed decisions, anytime they're thinking of buying a product, you are going to be the first person to call in that case. So let's try to push people around, getting them to buy our products, get them educated. And in fact, that is what we term as content marketing in marketing.
Okay.
Good.
Right.
I just want to follow up on that. That was my my comment to the group. So thank you, Dr. Opoku, for your great presentation, and also thank you for the plug for Edge. I appreciate it. I may have to buy a coffee at Starbucks next time I'm in Red Deer.
No, Peter.
But my my question is, and I know this from my personal experience, like content marketing is extremely important. But at the same time, a lot of small business owners are struggling with writing content and keeping up with that. Do you have some recommendations, some thoughts around how they can kind of work around that?
Very good, Peter. And I think I did indicate in the presentation that this is an opportunity for you to create partnerships. And we have agencies like your own, and we have lots of them around. This is an opportunity. And of course, if you're an entrepreneur, remember, you have to put together, one of the key elements of entrepreneur is the opportunity to put together a strong team to take your business to the next level. So I don't expect you to have, a complete picture of what is happening within the organization. So leverage content expertise, leverage marketing expertise. This is an opportunity for you to sit down with, this is an area that I'm struggling. Can we work together? Remember, those folks are also struggling. So you can build that partnership going forward. And I know small businesses can work on these areas. That's why we have to have those kind of partnership with marketing agencies like the one you have, so that we can take our marketing to the next level. Thanks very much, Peter. Did I answer your question, please?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Other questions? So one question I have for you, Dr. Opoku, is this. Small business managers, one of the difficulties they're facing is time. They don't have time really to do this kind of work of thinking about how to anticipate the market and to do all you have been mentioning. So, and at the same time, you say one of the way out of that, I understand, is to partner with the schools of business in the community and the agencies to get this work done. Okay, so how would they go about, if they don't do that, how would they go about anticipating what may happen after COVID? What the world after COVID would look like? How well the product or the service I'm offering will perform that kind of market if I don't have time to either to partner with agencies, the schools or business? Is there any other way they can make that happen?
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Luisius. That is how I see things. If you are an entrepreneur, a small business owner, and you love your business, you need to spend some time on it, right? So, I get it. They don't have time. They have other things going. They have to make sure that things work. But you have to make sure that you make time for some of these important things. One of the key elements, if you don't have any ideas, remember I talk about these online events. Put one together. So folks within your industry, let's talk. So that's where some of these ideas, through some of the brainstorming, some of these ideas will pop up, and you pick it up and polish it or move it to the next level. So I don't expect you to be doing the thinking by yourself. Sometimes you think, nothing comes out. Interact with people. Talk to students. Remember, that is a gold mine. That's why you need to step up and get into the classrooms, discuss these ideas with students, lay your business ideas bare. They can work on them as projects. You take whatever content that they provide and build on it. You need to be smart. This is the time I expect small business owners to be smarter. They are smart, but they have to be smarter in that case. So look for those opportunities, those low-hanging fruits. Pick them up and work on it. Very, very critical. Answer your question, please.
And Janae, I turn over to you for what's going on in the chat.
Okay, so I think what you were just saying sort of answers the question, but there was a comment made that everyone is an expert at something. So figure out, what does your business do differently? What are you proud of? And then brainstorm ideas and pick some of the best ones. So then how can small business owners brainstorm ideas on how to pivot or change their business model?
So, and I think it ties into the discussions we've had earlier. You know, I don't expect small business owners, individuals, to be epitome of knowledge. They don't have it all. And of course, that's why you need to have a strong team. And also remember, I talk about the crisis response team. You better have it now. You need to have a backup, people that you can think through things with them. If you don't have it, this is the time for you to have something like that. And tap into the public knowledge. There are lots of knowledge in terms of gold mine out there. Leverage it and pivot. People have smart ideas. If they're students, you know, they are prospects, they are potential customers. Talk to them. Spend some time with them and making sure that you get some of these ideas, polish it up a little bit, try and even test some of these ideas before. So this is the time for you to start ideating, thinking about the next idea forward. Work on it, and I know there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel going forward. So don't sit at home and just, don't let your spirit be dampened by what is happening around. This is the time for you to be energized and go out there and tap into the knowledge out there. There are a chunk of them. If you visit a website called innocentive.com, people are populating that website with ideas going forward. Get into those kind of platforms, and then perhaps maybe somebody might have been thinking about how to take your business or your product to the next level. It's an opportunity for you to tap into it and move on. So work around it, invest time, talking to people, searching information on various platforms like innocentive.com, I've already mentioned, so that you can get some of these ideas going. Thank you.
And another question, is it appropriate to start a different line of business now according to what the market demands now?
Perfect. There are businesses that are springing up big time. So this is also an opportunity. During the crisis, lots of businesses are being born. It's an opportunity. Every crisis brings an opportunity. So take advantage of it. If you have a business idea, this is the time for you to test it out or roll it out. Definitely, business ideas are springing up day in, day out. Good. Did I answer your question? Any other questions, please? Comments, suggestions?
I would give priority to our guests, but to see if there are any other questions. But I have a page full of questions, but
please go
I don't
ahead.
want to. So you talk about the process of ideation, this is the time when sit back, we think, we anticipate the market, we partner. What would happen if a business, what do you think would happen? And are there any cases that would help understand if a business would decide not to do that? Would that compromise the chance of future success in the market or not?
Yes, thanks very much, Professor Michel. Any business should innovate. And innovation is not something for particular businesses. Every business, if you even sell in water, you have to innovate, right? So this is the time for you to sit back and look at that ideation piece. And remember, any little thing that you can add to whatever product or service that you have will make a difference. And remember, priorities are also changing. The customers that you think are so loyal to you might be looking at something different this time around. So even getting to tap into the minds of these customers during these times is so critical to help you figure out how to serve and serve them well. So when you talk about ideation, it's not just about coming up with a newer product, but how can you change your channel? You can look at the 4 Ps. For example, in these times around, we look at the product as customer solution. So it's not just the product that you are offering, but is it providing the right solution to the customer? Look at it from the COVID-19 point of view. Things have changed. So is there any way I can revise my product to provide the better solution that the customer is looking for? If you look at the price has changed. It's a customer cost. It's a cost to the customer. So am I providing the right price? Is it affordable to these customers at this point in time? Can I revisit it? It's not just a price tag you are putting on your product. People are now sacrificing to come out with something to pay for your product. So it's a cost. Are they assessing the product? Whatever my products are, is it convenient enough for customers to assess it? Let's look at the 3rd P, which is place, distribution. It is now convenience. Can customers conveniently access my product in this pandemic? Are my products reaching them at the right time and at the right place? Let's look at the last P, which is promotion. Now is communication. So we are looking at 4 Cs right now. Communication. How can you create a platform to engage with your customers? Because communication is a two-way traffic. So during times like this, we need to turn the 4 Ps into 4 Cs. Once again, we're looking at the customer solution. We are looking at the cost to the customer. We are looking at it. We're looking at convenience. And the last but not the least, we are looking at communication. So these are the 4 key elements that can help you to move it going forward by looking at it from the C's point of view, other than the P's.
Okay.
Good?
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes. Dene?
Good. Go ahead.
You mentioned marketing automating systems. Can you expand on what they are and how they can help small businesses?
Good. So if you look at social media, for example, maybe you've set up some posts that every Friday, these things should go to my customers. So this is what we're talking about. Or you have flyers already developed, some promotional materials. This is an opportunity for you to revisit the information that is sitting in these promotional materials or on your platforms. So if it's something that we've automated, that every Friday this to go out to my customers, or this picture or this photo to be sent to these customers, sit back and reflect on them. Are you insensitive to the plight of people? Is it the right messaging? Because sometimes, things were good, so we are thinking about pushing our products through. It's about buying. But things have changed. So revise your automation or automated marketing activities. Sit back and figure out whether these things are good, taking into consideration the pandemic that we are experiencing going forward. Revise all your promotional materials. And that brings me to even education, right? If you look at Berman, and I'm not going to pick on anyone, but university marketing is changing. So I spent some time looking at what is happening on Berman's website. So if you check Berman's COVID-19 for 2020 tuition relief campaign page, look at the picture that has been displayed on that particular page. There should be some diligence of ensuring none of the photos on our promotional materials could trigger a social distancing alarm. So if what we have, 4 guys, standing so close to one another, what is the messaging? What are we sending to the consuming public. These are some of the things I'm talking about. So this is just to provoke the discussions around this activation. This has been there. It has been activated for quite some time, pre-COVID. But this is the time for us to sit back and look at these promotional materials and say whether these things are resonating with people. Are we insensitive to the crowd? And remember, when it comes to student enrollment, these days, in times like this, parents do count. Parents are very concerned. They will revisit their website and see whether this institution has good COVID-19 protocols in place. And if they get to see this kind of pictures or photos on our website, it raises a red flag. So this is what we're talking about. Did I answer that question? The person can come back. Again, I don't know whether it's sinking in, but these are some of the things
So
that we need to
we're
look at.
limited in time.
Good.
We're limited in time, but
good.
Thank you. Yeah, and we maybe there is another one or two questions, Jenny, on the chat.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's one more.
One more.
This is a time when going out to network is discouraged. How do we look for opportunities without going against public advice?
Good. So I did mention about taking advantage of online events. Very, very powerful. Getting to speak in a professor's class is so easy. Just pick up a phone call and say, hey, I have some ideas that I want to share with students. And I know every college professor or university professor will create that platform for you. So quickly, you have 20 students to talk to, and these are your prospects. So that's where you need to start. Start small. Look for those opportunities. They will never come. Get, to speak to students, or there could be a community organization. They want to know more about your products or how you are helping during COVID-19. Take advantage of that platform. Knock doors. That is very critical. Take advantage of some of these things that are happening. If you knock, those doors will open. So take that leap of faith. Talk to people, pick up the phone, talk. They will open those doors. In that case, every institution right now is offering online classes, and students are meeting online every day. That is an opportunity for you to step up and talk to these students. These students also talk to their friends. They will talk to their parents via marketing. So that's how we buzz around our products and services. So if you have the opportunity to plug in your products and services, and people will take that messaging around, they will become apostles and ambassadors for your product and services going on. Take that leap of faith. Create some time to do those things. It's going to help.
Okay. So that was the last question. And there is a comment sent to everybody from our speaker for tomorrow night is if you were in B2B, LinkedIn has become super valuable. So thank you so much. Maybe tomorrow night, Peter will tell us more about that. And I thank you so much. And on behalf of Birmingham University, the School of Business and the Small Business Center, and I thank you very much. And I appreciate that you make time to come and speak to our business community. I know there is more to say, and it can be very specific, very tailored to the need of every single business. And we are participating in this event, and we hope that we can maintain a link with businesses. We can continue to support to businesses. I thank you very, very much. And we can't wait for the next time when you can come and talk to us again on marketing issues. Thank you, Dr. Opoku.
Yeah, I would love to have a conversation around how to market universities. So anytime you folks, think that such a conversation can happen, just let me know. We can.
Oh, perfect. My VPA is listening.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some thoughts around university marketing. So we can share.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Perfect. We'll work on that.
Good. Yes.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for being so engaged, for participation. So I will see you here tomorrow night at 5 p.m. for the next seminar on the series.
Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you, and have a great evening.
yourself as well. For
Bye-bye.
now, folks, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
If we can stay, people
Yes,
who